One of the easiest ways to potentially lose months of VA disability compensation is by waiting too long to submit an intent to file. An intent to file tells the VA that you plan to submit a disability claim even though you're not ready to file the completed application yet. If the VA later grants your claim, an intent to file may allow your effective date to go back to the date the VA received your intent to file instead of the date your completed claim was filed. Here's an example. A veteran submits an intent to file on February 3rd, 2026. The veteran plans to file for traumatic brain injury or TBI, but is still gathering private treatment records, military records, and personal statements. The completed claim is submitted on November 18th, 2026. If the VA grants the claim, the effective date may go back to February 3rd, 2026 instead of November 18th, 2026. That difference could represent several months of retroactive compensation. After submitting an intent to file, a veteran generally has 1 year to submit the completed claim. If that deadline passes without the completed claim being filed, the intent to file generally expires. Here's another example. A veteran plans to file for degenerative disc disease of the lumbar spine, but is still waiting for MRI results and additional treatment records. Instead of waiting until every piece of evidence has been gathered, the veteran submits an intent to file. Several months later, the completed claim is filed within the 1 year deadline. If the VA grants the claim, the effective date may go back to the date the VA received the intent to file. Veterans can notify the VA of an intent to file online, by telephone, in person, or by submitting VA Form 21-0966 by mail. Veterans who begin certain online disability applications through a verified va.gov account may also automatically establish an intent to file without submitting a separate form. There is another important rule. A veteran can generally have only one active intent to file at a time. Suppose a veteran submits an intent to file on January 8th. In September, the veteran files completed claims for TBI and degenerative disc disease of the lumbar spine. Those claims use the active intent to file. Then, in December, the veteran decides to file a new claim for irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS. The January 8th intent to file generally cannot be used again because it was already used when the completed claims were filed. This is why it is important to think carefully about which conditions are ready to be included before submitting your completed claim. An intent to file is not the completed claim. It does not establish service connection. It does not prove your disability. And it does not guarantee compensation. What it can do is preserve an earlier effective date while you take the time to properly develop your claim. So, if you know you'll be filing a VA disability claim, but you're still gathering evidence, an intent to file may give you up to 1 year to complete your claim without immediately giving up an earlier effective date. Just remember 3 things. Submit the intent to file before you submit your completed claim. Generally, submit the completed claim within 1 year. And remember that once the completed claim is filed, that intent to file has generally been used. In addition to reviewing your disability rating after the VA issues a decision, review the effective date assigned to each granted condition. It could make a significant difference in the amount of retroactive compensation you receive. If you found this video helpful, give me the thumbs up and consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next video. Veterans helping veterans.